All right, what's up, everybody? This is a live stream that I'm making on Portals, and it's ties that I found with Super Mario. Now, a lot of people have talked already about Super Mario and the depth of it when it comes to things like the mushrooms and the symbology behind the mushrooms and stuff like that. Today, what I'm just going to be touching on is briefly is the aspect of portals. Now, I got my drive open as usual. And this is the home screen of Super Mario, everybody. This is the home screen of Super Mario. So I just wanted to show this real quick. Think about the fact that with Super Mario and these first games that came out, when we're talking about all of the reality uploading and all of this stuff transitioning and changing over, and the advancing of technology and how it's going to interact with us as humans, and just the overall knowledge level that we at and everything, it ties into the pixelization thing that I've been getting at. Once you know the science of pixels and light, all of this different stuff, it ties into the whole atom atomical aspect. I'm not saying that atoms are real just by stating the name, but I just wanted to mention that. Now, the whole aspect I'm getting at, once I pull out of this and when I type in ancient port, now this is the thing about Mario. At the end of Mario, what's at the end of the game? At the end of the game, once you reach the end of the level, you end up seeing a castle-like building. Um, and this is the building I'm talking about. Speaking of right here, this building right here looks like a little fort. You know, if you, I'm not just saying that just for no reason, but I used to think things subconsciously when I used to play this game. And as a child, you never, because you just suspect that it means nothing and stuff. But I used to wonder why does he go into this fort thing and where does it go? It's like it's just a fort in the middle of nowhere. I questioned when I was younger whether it was a castle, but I realized that he's so small compared to this, and Bowser has a castle, which is way bigger. So it can't be a castle, is what I said to myself. Is because that's what the whole aspect of Bowser is. You're going to his castle to free or yeah, free the princess. But this right here is not a castle. This is like a little fort. So what does a fort look like? See, this is exactly, it's like the same exact thing. So that's what a fort looks like. It even looks like, the design that I've been saying with the four corners. If you just think about fort, like I said, fortify means strengthen oneself and things like that. So I just want to show that real quick. So when I used to play this game, I used to say to myself, where is he going? You know, when he goes through this door, this little area right here into this door, as a kid, you just imagine different stuff. And I used to just imagine, where is he going? Of course, you go to the next level and you would assume he goes to the next level. Yeah, but I mean, like, there's nowhere to go. Why does he go in here and not just go to the next level? Why does he go in there? You know, to get to the next level comes out of somewhere that isn't even the same building. Because when he goes, mind you, when he goes to the next level, the whole room, not room, but castle, not castle, because I just showed that it ain't a castle, but fort that he comes out of, it's the door area. The building that he comes out of on the next level is way freaking bigger. You know, if you pay attention to some of them, they're different sizes, different. So it's showing that he's teleporting through that aspect right there. Because if it was the same building, it would be like it's changing, like the weather is changing, or people would take it as either the weather is changing or the scenery, something along that, those lines are changing. So the whole aspect within itself, just thinking about that they make the building bigger once he goes to the next level, sometimes that kind of shows that he's teleporting. You could only communicate so much with the art level of this. With pixelization, everything is on the square, literally. um, that's how they make the whole imagery. So what I'm getting at is that looks like a fort. Now what I want to zoom in on a little bit is just this aspect right here. You see the little, not the flagpole, but these little things right here that's on top of it, like a little fort, sticking up on top of the roof. And mind you as well that these are pyramids that he's climbing. A lot of people look over it, but why does he climb pyramids? Of all things, of all shapes, he could have climbed different things. Why does he climb something like this? You know, it I'm not gonna say it doesn't make sense, because it makes sense. I'm comprehending where it's coming from. My big thing that I'm questioning is the flagpole as well. I know with Jain cosmology and stuff like that, they have different aspects of flags, and even the Freemasons with the encampment, they have flags on their stuff. Um, so I'm really questioning what the flagpole aspect is, the symbology behind that as well. But anyway, no one can tell me that this isn't one thing that further supports the what I'm saying about these forts right here being a teleportation type forts and ports. So this throughout this game, he teleports. Even without this right here, he still teleports through the pipelines. So therefore, this is the proof right here that he is teleporting, because and it deals with the underworld, the upper world, all of this stuff ties together. So if I type in Mario shortcuts, the pipe should pop up. There it goes. So this is it right here. Uh, this is the shortcut zone. You hit that pipe, you go into the pipe, and then you go down into the ground, and it takes you into the underworld, and he can choose where he wants to go from there. Almost like like when we see, it's kind of like if we do get to choose who we are in this life and everything. If we do, I'm not saying that we do. Uh, this kind of goes into that aspect of dying, going underground, and then choosing, because everything that all of us have to die, and we have to go into the ground. That's one thing we can't escape. All of us our bodies have to go into the ground to decompose. And whatever the spirit does, if it goes up, it goes up. I can't confirm that. But you see 432 right here as well. 432. It could have went 2 3. I mean, 2 3 4, counting this way, of course. But I'm not saying that means 432, but it stands out to me. I mean, it could have been, you know, I don't know. But anyway, all I'm showing is that he's clearly teleporting through these different aspects of the underworld right here. And I wanted to show that real quick. Now, the next thing, um, the next Super Mario, because all of the games tie together, even and going into Sonic, but uh, dang, I meant to type that in different. I'm looking for it. I can't find it right now. This is what I was getting at. Now, this right here, this is a ship that's in the sky that Mario, one of the levels on the next game, because like I'm saying, all of the games tie together. It's so many different games. What's up with these aspects of ships being in the sky, flying ships in the sky? Think about the aspect of, waters above and waters below. I'm not saying that there's the same water is up there as down here, but I'm just showing this real quick because of something I'm about to get into next. Now, with all of that being shown right now, I type in ancient portals, and this is what comes up. This is why I've been telling people, don't you know that portals are directly connected to time travel if proven real? As far as portals, I'm not saying that portals are real because I can't prove them, of course. But what I am showing you is that the information, the ties of it. It's truth behind everything. Stuff don't just get made up just for no reason. And quite honestly, until people can you know prove where things start from and where all things come from, um, which when we look at that, everything comes out of sort of a portal, out of a woman's, the dark area of a woman. Throughout nature, that's kind of shown as well, but I ain't gonna go to that degree. But what you see right here is different ancient stone monuments that have a, doorway type of aspect to them. So I'm just scrolling through right now just to show a couple of them, a few of them. There's things called stargates. The word stargate, that terminology is prevalent as well. But this is one that's in the Inca region / Peru region. Okay. So a lot of people may not, I haven't heard people in this community talk about that. Um, but let's see, trying to find an ad, not ad. So one of the things that pops up, of course, is as you can see, exactly what I've been showing y'all. So I just showed everything I did with Mario for a reason. The fort, when I showed the fort where he goes into, so all I'm saying and what I'm showing is that this right here looks exactly like what picture Mario. If you could turn you know how you can take video games, and they often do, they take video game characters or video games or cartoons all together, and they create a realistic version of them, like the Dragon Ball Z movie and Transformers, like I just tried to show. And usually with every cartoon, they usually try to come out with some type of realism aspect of it. So as a matter of fact, think of even Sonic the Hedgehog. They just did that with Sonic. So as a matter of fact, with me even voicing what I'm saying, and think about the fact that with Transformers, the movie that I was trying to show, they were here. They were literally here. They went to Petra, and I was trying to show that, the synchronicity with this place and me, because they went here to this same exact place in Hegra / Petra, which ain't too far away from each other. And they went into one of these things, and they had to deal with the aspect of the ancients. All of it had to deal with time traveling and going into a portal. So, at the end of the day, what I'm showing is, and what I'm saying is, when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog, and when they turned that movie over into realistic, real life, and had to, personify different things from the game, in a realistic aspect through the world. Think about this right here, and how what in the world would they use in this world that would show if they came out with a Mario movie? If they made a, to counter the Sonic movie in response, because they've always been in dual uh, or control, opposition and everything. What if Mario came back and they made a Mario movie? One of the teleportation, they would need different areas throughout the world and stuff that green pipes that he would go into, and they would have underworld scenes. But as far as where he goes, the castles and stuff like that, all of that stuff he goes through, climbing the pyramids, all of that, you know where they would put that at? All in areas like this, and he would go into a place that looks like this. When we talk about stuff that's already in our world, he will go into a place that looks just like this, because this right here looks exactly like at the end of the Mario game. It looks just like the end of it. Mind you, that right there, if you zoomed in on this, and I showed the ships for a reason, so I'll be retreating back to that in just one moment. I wanted to show a, well, this went straight to the ad, which is cool too. But when you think about Mario, that's why I drew out what I drew out as well. I drew out for my work that I'm working on, my big project, my discovery. I drew out Mario because I realized that, the aspect of pixelization, the game aspect, how they've been ahead of where we was at when they was working on Mario and stuff like that. Their mind was already and beyond this point where we're at right now with all of the technology we're witnessing, touch screens and mind technology and all of that type of stuff. They was already on their level when they was giving us Mario. Okay. Just like right now, when they giving us all of this stuff about the mind, they that means that they already got everything figured out. That's why that's why they're doing what they're doing with the agenda and carrying out everything so confidently, and they not worried about nothing because they got us where they want us. But when you look at this, even it's kind of funny to me how the design looks just like Mario. That's why I say, why does Mario jump those steps? These people know something about these aspects of things that we don't. Mario has to deal with portals. Whenever I type in ancient portals, and whenever I talk about these people, or if you could yourself talk to these people from this area, if you brought up ancient portals, they would tell you about places like this. This is the stuff that they would bring up. This right here looks just like a Mario. You could take a stone Mario and put him on the top. It'll look like the game got paused. So this right here looks just like Mario, and it's called the Crow Steps. This up here is in Peru, um, and I'm gonna read this article, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. So the thing is, when he with portals and stuff, you would have to. How did a lot of people question, how did these ancient ancestors? How did they know if it wasn't such, if they wasn't able to do certain things, like if they didn't have flying technology, if they wasn't flying, if they wasn't on boats at a certain point and things like that, then how were they? Why was their architecture and building and everything that they did so in sync with one another? How come it was so much information that syncs up with stuff that was across the globe? Is what a lot of people question. Well, if there was some type of way to transfer the human body, or what I'm saying, through portals and stuff like that, that would make a lot of sense. And for there to be portals, you have to have an entrance point and an exiting point, and that's a fact. You can't just go into a portal, or it's not wise to just create a portal into entrapment. You know, you have to have an exiting point. So therefore, the exiting points would be you would have to have various portals. It wouldn't be like you just got one thing or one area where they create one type of art based, because there's other things like this, but it wouldn't just be, one thing. You would have to have other areas that people could leave out of, you know. So this kind of really, justifies that a little bit as far as the aspect of it. What the article proceeds to read is it possible that Stargate, aka portals, exist around the globe? Or are legends that speak of such portals nothing but ancient myths? There are numerous ancient sites around the world which display fascinating properties that archaeologists cannot explain. Various ancient sites all across the planet are proof that thousands of years ago, ancient cultures knew of a lost technology that has been lost in modern times. Ancient sites like the Gate of Hayu Marca in South America, which is the first one that I was just showing y'all, which is this right here. That's the name of it. Ancient sites like the Gate of Hayu Marca in South America and Mada in Sala in Africa, which is this one up here, right here, Saudi Arabia slash Africa. Display fascinating similarities not only in their construction but also in their extensive history that speaks of fascinating details. Locals consider these ancient sites as powerful places with mystical powers. These strange doorways were created by civilizations thousands of years ago for mysterious reasons. Why build gigantic doors into rock? Were these the sites created to support local legends? If so, why are these legends not an isolated phenomenon? In fact, there are dozens of ancient sites around the globe displaying fascinating similarities as if ancient cultures were connected somehow, which goes back into exactly what I was saying. Am I saying that this is conclusive? No, I'm not. I'm showing exactly where my mind is at and what this all has to deal with my work. Because, like I've said, the Nazca lines and everything that I've been showing with 45 degrees and all of that, the true electromagnetic grid, the ley lines of the earth. At the end of the day, the center point is a portal, is what I've been saying and showing. Just like the North Pole. So I've been mapping it out, that's what I've been showing. Our first site of interest is Hayu Marca in modern day Peru. This ancient stargate is found near Lake Titicaca and is referred to by locals as Marumuru, and many know it as the gateway of the gods. Legends say that this door will one day open and welcome the creator gods of all kind. These gods are said to return in their solar ships, and all of humanity will be in awe. So that's why I just showed y'all what I did. Everything that I show you is for a reason, to build up to a point. I just showed y'all the Mario ships within the levels. You know, I just confirmed and showed, with everything with the portals, showing the connections with the architecture of, and things along that nature. This right here is the ships. This is not just one culture. This is all around the globe. How come it's these ancient cultures have, you got the Vermana with India, you know, even people like Hitler and stuff like that. They study people like that, cultures like that, and certain stuff got hidden. How come all of these different ancient cultures talked about some type of skyships? Were they flying back then? It's questionable because guess what? More of my work that supports that they could have actually been flying, and that this ain't just me just questioning stuff and saying he don't know it and he ain't got nothing to support. This is real evidence that I'm showing, because what backs that is them Nazca lines. How did they create that, and who would be able to see that? Exactly. That's my they, they had to have had some form. Either somebody's up there in the sky, if something is up there, can see something that they know about that we don't, or they were flying, period, point blank. And there's no way around that, because there's no way for the lines to be, there's no point in creating them. And that, I really feel that they know that there was common sense. They figured we would at least have that amount of common sense to figure that out, you know. But anyway, so this really all goes together, man, to really It's really amazing even hearing and knowing about what I know, and then it's tying in like it is. So it proceeds to say, however, since time immemorial, this region has been revered by local natives who actually consider it as the city of the gods. Even though to date only a few structures have been discovered, researchers believe that there are numerous monuments hidden beneath the surface. The enigmatic Gate of the Gods was discovered by accident when our local tour guide, Jose Luis Jose Luis Delgado Mamani, was hiking in the surrounding area. Mamani stated that he had long before dreamed about this structure and saw what appeared to be a door covered with pink marble with several figures located to the sides. These visions were closely linked to the legends of the native Indians of the area that told, man, my reading is off this morning. Goodness. These visions are closely linked to the legends of the native Indians of that area that tell that this door was a gateway to the land of the gods. Legends speak that in the distant past, great heroes crossed into the land of the gods, enjoying a prosperous and glorious immortal life. Among the most popular legends is one that says that during the time of Spanish conquest, an Incan priest called Amaru Muru from the Temple of the Seven Rays fled from his temple with a sacred golden disc known as the key to the gods of the seven rays. Amaru, Tupac Amaru Shakur. Okay, that's why I be Pac reincarnated, because Incan king or emperor, his name was Tupac. So the name Tupac and Amaru appears to be a very Incan, depending, I ain't gonna even say Incan, but that culture based down south, South America, the roots of that name and everything, that Tupac and Amaru, that's an Incan priest and then Tupac, you know. So Pac reincarnated, PR, Corey. The priest hid in the mountains of Hayu Brand, afraid that the Spanish might take the key from him. Later, the priest arrived at the Gate of the Gods at Hayu Marca, where he showed the key to several priests and shamans of the area. After they had performed the ritual, the door opened with the blue light emanating from it. The priest Amaru Muru handed the golden disc to one of the shamans and entered the door. He was never seen again. This amazing story sounds eerily similar to what we today figured, or to what we today refer as a stargate or portal. While modern science believes that such travel is impossible, legends all around the globe speak of travel through mysterious gates thousands of years ago. But Hayu Marca in modern day Peru isn't the only one. Another archaeological site located in Mada in Saleh in Saudi in Saudi Arabia offers further fascinating details. The ancient site was believed to have been erected by the ancient Thamud people who inhabited the region from at least the first millennium BC. According to the Quran, the ancient Thamud people inhabited the area after Noah, but before Moses. And then the thing is, Moses, or I think they meant Moses, but Moses, I've been realizing he's synchronized with Thoth and Hermes and stuff like that. So when I think of Moses splitting the seas and the geometry that even somebody showed in the past and everything with the X, that's dealing with the same exact geometry with my discovery. So it's going right back to that, aspect, of so I realized that synchronicity in myself as well. Ancient Islamic text suggests the Thamudis, who intricately carved their homes and temples out of the mountains, were like the pygmies, were punished by Allah because of their idol worship. See, Ancient Islamic texts suggest that the Thamudis, so that's the text suggesting that because of their idol worship. I wonder what idol it was that they was worshiping. But anyway, it says that the Thamudic people were struck by earthquakes and lightning blasts. Still today, the ancient site holds a reputation as being a cursed place. That's something else. And see, when it comes into this, one might say, then that means that that symbol right there is cursed. No, man, that's what you're not getting. That's what I'm saying. This right here, that's why I say fort. What is a fort? Think of everything that you hear when you hear fort or fort. Foundation, structure, so that's what I'm getting at. What this is a symbol of protection, man. You know, and somebody who doesn't comprehend that wouldn't get. So if you're in a cursed land and you know some type of what they would say to magic or so to say, what you would do, of course, is utilize symbols, that would help create a force field or a fort field, okay, to help repel any type of negative energy. So one might associate just because they heard that, that symbol is cursing. Well, to be honest, hey, uh, I've made a great discovery other people in the world have clearly overlooked. And the more people think that it's cursed, uh, hey, the better for me at this point, you know, because hey, I put in all of the work behind it anyway. But interestingly, the ancient site of Mada in Sareb and the gates of the god at Hayumarka share fascinating details in their construction. Both were carved out of a huge piece of rock. This goes back into the why were they carved out of rock? You know what I mean? you know, what was the actual purpose of these giant gate-like monuments? And when you go into these, actually, when you go into these and you make sound, when you hum, the make that sound, it resonates throughout the whole freaking chamber, you know. So the sound does something within itself and it could help elevate the consciousness in some type of way, is my strong guess on that. What was the actual purpose of these giant gate-like monuments? Were they created as ancient tombs, as mainstream scholars point out? If so, where are the occupants of these tombs? That's right. Excuse me. Were the mysterious doorways that do not lead anywhere built for aesthetic or spiritual reasons? Or is it possible there is another significance to them? Is it possible that both Mada in Saleh and the Gate of the Gods at Hayu Marka are in fact ancient stargates that were left behind by highly sophisticated civilizations? Were they real life stargates that leading to different planets or even dimensions? Are they part of a long lost ancient technology? There are countless questions that remain unanswered, for us to understand these ancient sites and their real meaning, we need to let go of the strict patterns set in place by mainstream scholars, which maintain that thousands of years ago, ancient civilizations around the globe were not connected with each other, and that advanced technology did not exist thousands of years ago. Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. No reason to go to the next post because it shouldn't have anything to do with that, which is my guess. Right. Alien cover up 2000. So, right. So, yeah, man. When it comes down to that, I just wanted to show that real quick, man. And I'm gonna let that go ahead and be this quick show real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. So I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all, were enlightened to something new on something. And peace out, man.